But similarly, if a person is a millionaire and he gives £10 or 10 euros in the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, would we qualify that as being generous? No, that would come under stinginess. So these definitions are very specific to individuals that is in question at that moment in time. But regardless of this, we must assess our situation and then accordingly spend. In whatever way we spend, even if it's on families, if it is in the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because we also need to assess that we do not spend so much that we, have to look out to others. Spread our hands out to other people, ask for other people to give us money, lend us money. So excessive expenditure leads to debt, and then debt is something that a Muslim must try to avoid at all times and circumstances if he's able to. And if a person is debt-free, then it is a ni'mah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on that person that he is debt-free, alhamdulillah. So our affairs, our financial affairs, we must assess our financial affairs and run our lives accordingly to our situation. And it is said that la khayra fil israf, there is no good in extravagance. But when it comes to khair, la israf fil khair. Subhanallah. When you're spending in a good cause, then there is no extravagance in that. But even in that situation, you must have a look at your own circumstances. The first and foremost duty is to provide for your family and your children. So you look at your own situation, that you're able to provide for them. You are covering your basic needs, their immediate expenses. And basic financial management is important for every individual. But where we fail, then we see that not only us as an individual we suffer, but the consequences of mismanagement of our finances, they are suffered, the whole community suffers. If we spend money on useless projects, then we are wasting our resources. But whereas we allocate the resources appropriately, not only us, the whole community benefits. So we assess the situation appropriately, allocate our resources appropriately, and try to avoid being in debt in all circumstances. And then also teach our children from a very young age the habit of saving as well. Not only give them money to spend, but also guide them how to save in an early stage, so that they develop this habit of saving and then measuring how they spend. So give them some sort of freedom. They have to choose whether they want to spend or save. Guide them, help them in developing this habit. Because if we do not develop this habit in children, then it's very difficult to. If we take care of every need and provide for them in every situation, give them money, spend, then this is an unnecessary and unrequired habit that is unintentionally being habituated in a person or in a child. And then when actions become habitual, we are used to certain actions, then it becomes very difficult to get rid of them. So from a very early age, establish this habit of saving and give them some freedom in that. Help them out at an age where they're able to make some decisions. Help them out. Allow them to make some decisions as well. As being indecisive is a very sad state that a person can be in. If you cannot make accurate decisions, and at some points decisions need to be made very abruptly, and at that given moment we're not given the time and the opportunity to do some research or have consultations. Whereas if we never had the ability or the opportunity to nurture this ability of decision making, then we would be in a very sad state. We would have to look out to others and maybe in a state of confusion what I'm supposed to do. And in the end, it might be that we are so confused that we might not even actually reach upon a decision or a conclusive decision. And then that causes problems. So at a very early age, develop the habit of saving in your children, controlling the expenditure, and also develop the habit of decision making. decision making in our children, so that they are able to make effective decisions when they grow up. You know, it doesn't have to be major decisions that you want your child to make, but just basic everyday affairs decisions, or whether probably whether you want to buy this or want to buy that, whether you want to do this, whether you want to do this. Allow them to choose, help them, guide them, and then allow them to have a think over it, and do not make every decision for the child. Do not make every decision for the child, because it's going to be, in the long run, it's going to cause problems. When they are able, I'm not saying, 5-6-year-old child, let him make decisions, whatever. When they are in an age when they're able to think for themselves, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So at that age, you need to nurture this ability of decision making, and helping them make responsible decisions and make them feel responsible. Because I've seen instances where everything has been done for them, everything has been done for the children, and they have not been trusted with making some small decisions in life. They stay in that position for the rest of their lives, and they do not do anything in the rest of their lives as well. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us the ability to act on the Quran and Sunnah, because this is all the way of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. As I mentioned earlier, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam has instructed his companions to be open thinkers, to be independent thinkers, not their thoughts to be influenced by unnecessary obstacles or unnecessary influence, but to think openly, independently, and then make the correct decisions. So that was the reason of the success for such companions. They were able to, without the limitations of borders, and they run such a large caliphate, and with justice, with i'tidal, with insaf. Pray Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us all the tawfiq to carry upon the mission of our mashayikh, and also to gain closeness to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.